Have you ever wondered how it is possible to transform a simple house cleaning task into an almost sacred ritual, capable of renewing the energy of every room? I, a homemaker with nearly half a century of experience, discovered that the art of cleaning can be reinvented with a pinch of boldness, irony, and why not, a touch of provocation. Today, I invite you to embark with me on an unusual journey. This is how the Japanese clean their homes. Follow these 9 steps. It may seem surprising, but every detail of this method, so remote yet so universal, has the power to transform our routine and make us reflect on what truly matters in life. When I first truly dedicated myself to cleaning, I never imagined there could be a method so elaborate and yet so simple. It is not just about sweeping or mopping. It is a ritual that embraces the philosophy of leaving behind everything that no longer serves us, both at home and in life. And let's be honest, amidst so many daily tasks, we often forget to gift ourselves the pleasure of caring for our own space. But before we dive headfirst into these 9 surprising steps, I want to make an unusual invitation: subscribe to the channel. Yes, you, listening to this audio right now. If your house is full of debris, and you think the mess is fine, remember, even the channel deserves a little order, or at least your attention. Let's shake off the dust not only from the floor, but also from our complacency. After all, if life has taught us anything, it is that change begins with simple, sometimes provocative actions. So, hit that subscribe button, because the next step might be just what you need to transform not only your home but also the way you see the world. Now, with our little initial provocation made and our energy high, let's get to the point. I want to share with you the 9 steps that the Japanese apply in their homes. A method that, for me, turned out to be a true turning point, an invitation to reflection, and above all, a life lesson. Get ready to rethink habits, challenge your routine, and discover that cleaning goes far beyond what the eyes can see. Each step carries a story, an analogy to the ups and downs of our existence, and a touch of wisdom that only someone who has lived life fully can convey. Step 1. Letting go of the unnecessary. To begin, it is essential to understand that true luxury is not about accumulating, but about freeing up space. I remember when, a few years ago, I decided to do a thorough cleaning. Not that quick clean, but a real expedition through my past, through the objects I had kept out of pure inertia. That's when I discovered that many items were merely burdens, memories that no longer served any purpose other than taking up space and, sometimes, suffocating the energy of the environment. In Japan, this practice is elevated to an almost spiritual ritual, getting rid of what no longer brings joy and meaning to life. I spent hours, with tears and laughter, separating what I truly needed from what could be donated or discarded. This experience taught me that letting go is not a loss, but a gain. A gain in space, energy, and above all, time for what really matters. If you still hold on to objects as if they were part of your identity, it's time to ask yourself, what is really contributing to your happiness? Make peace with the past and create space for the new. Step 2. The symbiosis with space. After letting go, the next step is to cultivate a respectful relationship with every corner of the house. We are not just talking about cleaning surfaces, but understanding that each environment possesses its own energy that needs to be cared for. I remember the times when, after a deep cleaning, I began to notice how the light and fresh air transformed my mood and, consequently, the atmosphere of the home. The Japanese teach that by taking care of every detail, whether it's opening a window to let the breeze in or gently repositioning a piece of furniture, we are, in fact, harmonizing our own lives. It is an invitation to look at our space with affection, treating each area as a living organism that reflects our inner state. By doing so, I learned that external order has the power to influence internal order. Every gesture, no matter how simple, carries the strength to transform not only the house but also our spirit. Step 3. Cleaning as meditation. Now, allow me to confess something. I never thought that cleaning could be so meditative. In the rush of daily life, we used to see this task as a boring obligation, a necessary evil. But gradually, I began to realize that there is a rhythm, a cadence in the act of sweeping, washing, and organizing that resembles active meditation. Imagine this: every movement, every conscious gesture, is an opportunity to connect with the present moment. The Japanese understand this very well. By turning cleaning into a moment of mindfulness, I started to view each task as a chance to renew my mind and spirit. Instead of thinking, "Oh, here we go again, I have to clean," I began to see this activity as a gentle dance between body and mind. And believe me, when you surrender to this rhythm, the house comes alive, and life itself fills with a new meaning. Step 4. Daily rituals and consistency. If there is one thing I learned over the years, it is that consistency is the key to any lasting transformation. The Japanese, with their admirable discipline, have turned cleaning into a daily, almost sacred ritual. It is not about making huge changes overnight, but about small gestures repeated with regularity. I remember waking up early, with the first ray of sunlight, and feeling an energy that seemed to whisper, "Today, everything will be different." It was as if the very morning invited me to start afresh, to leave behind what no longer served me and embrace the possibility of a lighter, more organized day. And so, each day became an opportunity for a new beginning, where consistency became a powerful ally against disorder and chaos. It is amazing how simple habits can transform the way we experience time and the space around us. Step 5. The power of details. I am sure that, like me, you have experienced moments when you felt overwhelmed by the monotony of routine. But it was precisely in the small details that I found the magic of transformation. In the Japanese method, nothing is accidental. Every corner, every object, has a purpose and deserves to be cared for attentively. I began to look at imperfections with new eyes, seeing in them the opportunity to improve, to give a special touch to my home. From choosing a natural air freshener to the harmonious arrangement of cushions and curtains, every detail tells a story. The story of my quest for perfection, even if imperfect, in everyday life. And it is exactly in this meticulous care that the true beauty of life resides. After all, if we cannot appreciate the little gestures, how can we recognize the value of the great moments? Step 6. Innovation in the routine. The routine. So safe, so predictable, yet it can also be incredibly monotonous. That is precisely why I decided to inject a little innovation into my day-to-day life. Inspired by the Japanese approach, I began to see cleaning as an opportunity to experiment with new techniques, new methods, and why not new perspectives. I allowed myself to be bold, mixing traditional methods with modern touches, from using multifunctional tools to incorporating techniques that resemble artistic rituals. This blend of tradition and innovation made me reflect on the importance of stepping out of the comfort zone, of challenging the status quo, and turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. If you are tired of following the same steps over and over, allow yourself to innovate. Take risks, experiment, transform your routine, and above all, rediscover the joy inherent in every new movement. Step 7. The connection with nature. Amid the frantic pace of modern days, we often forget where we come from and what our true essence is. The Japanese, with their deep connection to nature, taught me that cleaning the home can and should be an extension of caring for the environment. I started using natural products, opening windows to let in the breeze and the sunlight in every room, as if inviting nature itself to participate in the ritual. This connection not only makes the home healthier, but also reminds us of the importance of living in harmony with the world around us. By adopting eco-friendly practices, I realized that I was, in a way, honoring my own history and that of the planet. Every gesture, no matter how small, has the power to create a positive impact. And my home, once merely a personal refuge, became a space celebrating life. Step 8. The art of organization. Organization is undoubtedly one of the keys to transforming cleaning into a true ritual. For a long time, I was caught in a constant battle against disorder. Scattered papers, objects with no defined place, a chaos that seemed to reflect my inner turmoil. But it was by adopting a meticulous approach, inspired by Japanese efficiency, that I discovered the power of organization. Every shelf, every drawer, began to tell a story of order and purpose. I learned that it is not about keeping the house spotless solely for aesthetic reasons, but about recognizing that organization is a reflection of our own state of mind. When the environment is in harmony, the heart calms down, and every task becomes an opportunity to reaffirm our ability to create order amid chaos. And so, every object, every space, came to be cared for with an almost reverential zeal. Step 9. The celebration of the renewed space. After following all these steps, the result cannot be measured only in square meters cleaned or furniture organized. It is reflected in the soul. Reaching the end of this ritual, which unites the past, the present, and the perspective of a lighter future, is like celebrating a personal victory. For me, every time I finish cleaning following these 9 steps, I feel as if I were being reborn. It is a moment of introspection, of recognizing that despite all the difficulties and challenges, it is possible to find beauty and meaning in the simplest things. And it is at this moment of celebration that I realize that true transformation goes far beyond the visual. It is internal, profound, and capable of reconnecting us with what is most essential in our existence. Over the years, I have learned that cleaning is not just a mechanical act, but a process of self-knowledge and transformation. Every step I took, every method I adopted, made me reflect on the impermanence of things and the importance of valuing what truly brings us joy and peace. And although I have undergone many changes, I am still amazed by the power of a simple gesture, of a small act that can alter not only the environment but also the energy we carry within us. If you sometimes feel overwhelmed by the routine and the disorder that insists on infiltrating every corner of your life, allow yourself to try this approach. Let these 9 steps serve not only as a practical guide but as an invitation to rediscover the magic that resides in simplicity. Imagine every task, every small gesture, as a silent dance between what was and what could be, a chance to reinvent not only your home but your very existence. And, if you happen to think that this proposal is too bold, think again. Boldness is often the first step towards great change. You may be reluctant to abandon old habits, to let go of the comfort of familiarity. But remember, true progress requires courage. And, as the Japanese tradition taught us, true beauty lies in embracing the new without ever forgetting the lessons of the past. At times, I find myself reflecting on how life is made up of small moments that, when added together, define who we are. Each morning, every act of care, every decision to reorganize not just the physical space, but also the mind and the heart, is like a small seed that, over time, blossoms into a garden of possibilities. And it is precisely in this garden that we find the peace we have been seeking. A peace not measured in material terms, but in the ability to look at the world with a renewed perspective, full of hope and determination. By sharing these 9 steps with you, I do not expect your home to magically transform overnight. What I wish is to inspire a new way of facing routine, of seeing cleaning as an act of self-love and respect for the space we inhabit. I want each of you to feel, at the end of this audio, that change is within your reach, that all it takes is to take the first step so that the rest follows naturally, almost like a harmonious dance. Allow yourself to ask, how many times have you let external disorder reflect internal chaos? How many times have you postponed taking care of your environment, letting routine dull the color of your days? Today, I challenge you to look at this reality with new eyes, to embrace the idea that transformation begins from within. And, if you feel motivated, share this experience with those you love. After all, we all deserve to live in a space that inspires us, that strengthens us, and that reminds us every day that life can, and should, be a constantly evolving work of art. After all, true cleaning is not just about removing dirt from the floor, but about eliminating the impurities that keep us chained to old patterns. It is an invitation to leave behind what no longer serves us and to make space for the energy of the new, the vibrant, the unexpected. Each of the 9 steps I shared today is, in fact, an invitation to rethink our relationship with what we call home. And by doing so, we discover that our true home is not in a physical structure, but in the state of mind we cultivate every day. At the end of this process, when you look at every corner of your home and see not just the result of a cleaning, but the reflection of a lighter and more organized life, you will understand that this transformation is something that transcends mere aesthetics. It is a lesson in the importance of taking care of oneself, of freeing oneself from the shackles of the past, and of allowing the present to transform into a space full of possibilities and renewals. For if there is one thing I have learned from these years of experience, it is that life is an endless new beginning. Every day offers us a new chance to be better, to transform our reality, and to rewrite our own story. And if my experience with the Japanese cleaning methods can serve as a small guide on this path, I am immensely happy to be able to share this discovery with you. So, if today you feel that the mess is not only physical but emotional, if your home is calling for a renewal that goes beyond the superficial, remember, everything begins with the first step. Let go of what no longer serves you, embrace simplicity, innovate, and allow every movement to reflect your desire for a fresh start. And to conclude, I leave you with a challenge. How about looking at your home with new eyes? How about transforming cleaning into an act of love and rebellion, defying common sense and perhaps finding a new meaning in every small gesture of the day? Change is within your reach, all you need is to allow yourself to take the first step. And if you need a little push, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and come discover more than cleaning techniques. Come discover a new way of living. Now, with a light heart and a mind full of new ideas, I continue with my routine, always remembering that true transformation begins when we dare to look at our world with curious eyes and a renewed spirit. May each day be an opportunity to rewrite your story, to rediscover the beauty that surrounds you, and to transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. And if my experience can serve as inspiration, I sincerely hope you find, in the simplicity of every gesture, the strength to create a home that is, above all, a reflection of your best self. Believe me, the journey toward a more harmonious and organized life is filled with challenges, but also immeasurable rewards. Every small act, every change in habit, is an investment in yourself. An investment that, over time, reveals itself in peace, satisfaction, and the certainty that, regardless of the chaos outside, your inner sanctuary will always be in order. Follow these 9 steps, adapt them to your reality, and allow yourself to flourish. Because, in the end, true cleaning begins within us and is reflected in every space we touch. And so, with this sincere invitation and a touch of irony, I conclude this sharing, in the hope that every word spoken here ignites a spark of change in your heart. May your home, just like your life, become a space of constant renewal, where every gesture is a celebration of what it means to live with intensity, love, and authenticity. Thank you very much for accompanying me on this journey of discoveries and reflections. Remember, transformation is just one step away, and all you need to do is allow yourself. And of course, subscribe to the channel to keep receiving tips that challenge the conventional. Live each day as if your home were a mirror of your soul, and let every space tell a story of overcoming, reinvention, and above all, love.